y'all. So today we're looking at the Galco Halo belt holster. This one happens to be, I'm using it with my Glock 19X. They do make it for a variety of different guns. And I'm using, for a light, I'm using my tlr1 So what this is basically this is Galco's answer to people that want to have a light on their gun and still want a leather holster. This is kind of set up as a semi-universal light bearing holster. It'll work with a bunch of Surefires, a bunch of streamlights, and there's a list of the different lights on their website that they say it's compatible with. So let's take a look at the holster overall. This is what the gun looks like in it. And for anybody wondering, I'm going to show. I know some people worry about whether or not the light, how far it sticks there in or out. You got about a third of an inch, give or take, of distance recess, I guess we'll call it recess, back from the lip of the holster before you reach light. So the light is somewhat protected. I'm going to pull it out of the holster. Alright, so let's look at craftsmanship. So Galco really does a nice job with their leather work. Around the belt loop, it is double stitched, real nice and firm. Stitched real nice along the edge. This holster does not have a retention screw, which I'll get to some of the break-in period in a little bit, but reinforced thumb brake was real nice. The thumb brake is really nice, and it breaks real nice and clean. No issues there. They only come in black, which, you know, for me doesn't really matter because I do have black and brown holsters. No big issue there. So, and the fitment on the gun is really good. Now, the thing I'll talk about is, and this is what I was mentioning about the no tension screw, is the break-in period on this holster is kind of, I guess I'll say, excessive. When I got this, and I've had this for a little while now, it was an extremely tight holster, especially when you have it on your belt, because of course when you put a holster like this on your belt, it tightens up a little bit more. Usually for me, break-in periods are about a day or two in a plastic bag, maybe 2 plastic bags. With this, it took 2 or 3 days, and I had it in multiple layers of plastic bag. I actually doubled up. I think at one point I had like 5 layers of plastic bag, just cheap plastic bag around the gun to loosen it up enough to where I could draw easily, which, no big deal. You know, that's to be expected. And I know online a lot of people were saying about this holster that, oh, it doesn't fit my gun, it doesn't work, it's terrible, I hate it. And I think that's because a lot of people don't understand that for most, especially mass-produced holsters that are fit a little bit better for a specific gun, they come tight for a reason. So that, you know, like everybody gun is a little bit different, and once you wear it for a while, all leather holsters are going to break down after a while. So you want it to be very tight in the beginning, so when it loosens up and the leather stretches, it still has decent retention. So once you break it in, no issues with the holster. The light does fit well in it, as I showed. You know, there's a little bit of lip to protect the edge of the light, and no issues there. Fits in real nice. No issues. I haven't ever noticed the light turn on or off or anything while it's in the holster. No issues there. No excessive wear on the light. As you can see, the light does ride on the gun pretty much all the time, hence why there's still powder burns on it. So I've gone over the craftsmanship. Some of the different things about this holster that I do and don't like is I'm going to talk about how it attaches to your belt and why that may or may not be a deal breaker for you. So how this attaches is by a single loop on the back, and your belt goes through the loop, you know, as you would expect, and it rides on your belt. Now it is a vertical cant. There is no way to adjust it or have it, you know, forward cant or anything. So that kind of is bad for someone concealed carrying, especially if you're only wearing a t-shirt, because it does print quite excessively. One of the few things that I would change on this holster, and sadly it's one of the big ones, is I wish they'd gone with a pancake style holster. This is a Galco holster, also for a Glock 19, but the only difference between these holsters is well, I guess there's two things. Is this is not light bearing, and this is a pancake style holster. So what I'm going to show is, the nice thing about pancake style holsters is most of them are 3-slot, allowing you to either do a more vertical or canted forward angle, which, you know, everybody has different preferences. I generally like a little bit forward cant because it does two things. It makes it a little bit easier to draw, especially if you're at like the 3 or 4 o'clock position, which they say this holster is optimized for the 3 to 4 o'clock position on their little chart on their website and on the packaging. But one of the nice things about pancake holster also is when you put this on your belt and you've got it, and this is a brand new holster, so this doesn't have wear marks for anybody wondering, well, wait a minute, he says, you know, he's talking about this and this is a brand new holster. But one of the things with these holsters is as you put it on your belt and you cinch it down tight, it kind of pulls the holster around your body. And by doing that, what it does is it usually pulls the grip of the gun in towards your body. And I'm going to put a video in, I'm going to show what I'm talking about where the grip hangs out on this holster. But that's one of the really nice benefits of having a pancake style holster, something with attachment points that are spread further out, is it wraps around your body a little bit better. Where with this, because it's a single point, it kind of wants to, wherever it's positioned on your body, like, you know, we'll pretend, here, we're going to use this as your body, you know, and wherever you've got it, it's going to be like that. The butt of that gun is always going to be sticking out. And like I said, I'll show this in a video to try to illustrate this a little bit better. But because it can't curve around your body no matter where you've got it, and I started carrying it around 3, and then I originally started, I moved it back to more of like a 4.30 carry, thinking, well, maybe that would help. And I still had the bad printing of the grip. So that's why, for me, I don't consider it a good holster for someone concealed carrying. Now, if you open carry, I think this is an excellent holster. I'm going to talk about comfort. So for comfort, it's a very comfortable holster, especially with a good belt, because it's so rigid, it supports the gun, and then if it works in tandem with a good belt, you have a very stable platform to carry your gun with. So they kind of market this, they state it's for both, like, you know, off-duty officers and the concealed carry market. I kind of think it's maybe leaned a little more towards the security guard, open carry, maybe off-duty officer type role, where concealment isn't as big a deal, or maybe not a big deal, or maybe not an issue at all. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. Now, you can, like, okay, say in the winter time, if you are wearing a jacket and it doesn't matter how much the grip of the gun sticks out, you're not going to have any issues. So basically, if you're in Minnesota and you have those miserable winters, you're never going to have an issue because no one's ever going to notice it. But if you're someone like right now here, we're getting 80, almost 90-degree days where you're wearing a t-shirt and shorts, I would not recommend you attempt to use this holster. But overall, I think as far as craftsmanship of the holster, it's a really good holster for someone, you know, and it's not for everybody. That's what I wanted to state in this, is it's not so much the holster's fault, but it's just not for everybody. So with that, I want to show what it looks like on my body. Alright, so we're at desk level, so bear with the weird camera angle. And I wanted to show this on my belt to try and show people what it looks like when you're carrying it. So here it is. Now, for open carry, that's awesome. It's a very comfortable holster, and it keeps the gun secure, you know, thumb brake, all that. But I want to show, I don't know how well this shows up, but when you pull the shirt tight and like the shirt goes around my body, see how much that grip is sticking out? Like, you know, you can pretty much fit your hand back there. How weird, like how much air there is between you and the grip of the gun. So it really hangs out there because there's nothing pulling it in towards your body. Like, that's the thing I was talking about with the pancake holster, where because you've got 2 points here pulling on the gun, pulling it towards you, it kind of like pushes it in, and holds it more like that, where it hugs your body much better. So for open carry, this is fine, and as a duty holster, for somebody like, maybe a security guard or somebody like that, that wouldn't be an issue. But for concealed carry, and here I'm going to throw my shirt over it, and this is just like a standard. I usually go a little bit larger on my shirts for concealed carry, but if I'm just standing here, it's not terribly bad. You can see like each side of me that this is a little bit bulkier, but it's not real bad from the front. But then you look at the back, and that's where you start to realize like any slight movement, the it's printing pretty bad. Especially if I like lean forward a little bit, you can see like the shirt is hanging off and pretty much tenting at this point off of the grip of the gun. So that's where I kind of say this holster for the concealed carry market kind of gets a fail, which is a shame because it's a really nice holster, but just how it's designed, I would not recommend it for the concealed carry market. But I just wanted to show that to illustrate for people wondering what it looks like on someone's belt. And this is with a tlr1 belt, so this is a really good reinforced carry belt, in case anybody was wondering. But I just wanted to show that. Alright, so that's my review of the Galco Halo belt holster. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you have any experience with the holster, and have a good day.